you can count on us. This is 7 News Good Morning Fort Sill.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us for another day of military news.
Yeah, that's right. So we got another edition of Good Morning Fort Sill. I think we got a pretty good lineup of stories that are relevant to military service members, veterans, and their families today. But first, we have a little bit of weather look. We got Michael Amanqua joining us today.
Making his debut on Good Morning Fort Sill.
He is making his debut on Good Morning Fort Sill here. Michael, how's the weather looking today?
Well, the weather is going to be very interesting. As we look at satellite and radar, we do have some scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly along the I-40 corridor right now, and we will have at least a 20 to 25% chance of scattered showers and storms today. Zooming out a little bit, this is part of a cold front that's going to be moving through the area today, and with that, it will give us a chance of some rain today and lower high temperatures as we go throughout the day. Taking a look at the Jackson County Memorial Hospital tower cam, we can see it's pretty quiet across the area, but we do anticipate that slight rain chances to be in the forecast. Yesterday in Lawton, we hit 105 degrees yesterday, which is a little bit well above average, and our lows were within the margin of error, so not much to be talked about. And elsewhere, 104 in Chickasha, 103 in Frederick, 104 in Vernon, 102 in Childress. So it certainly was a hot day, one of the hottest days we've seen so far this year. And your PT forecast, 81 degrees currently at Fort Sill, but as we go over the next few hours, steadily in the mid-70s, and then we'll get up into the lower 80s by the time we get to around 8 and 9 a.m. And I will have you full forecast of what we can expect today and over the weekend and going into next week coming up.
A new bill introduced in the U.S. Senate this week aims to fix aviation safety weaknesses exposed in the aftermath of the Washington, D.C. crash from earlier this year.
That's right. Senator Ted Cruz introduced that legislation 6 months after that fatal midair collision over the Potomac River. 67 people died on January 29th when an Army Black Hawk helicopter on a training mission collided with an American Airlines regional jet coming in for a landing at Ronald Reagan National Airport.
Now, this new bill would require aircraft operators to install key anti-collision technology known as automatic dependent surveillance broadcast signals on all flights, and would require the Army to keep it turned on in almost every case.
The Rotor Act represents a common sense step forward in aviation safety reform. One of the most important parts of this bill is the requirement that all aircraft, military and civilian, use both ADS-B out and ADS-B in. ADS-B is critical for aviation safety. This technology allows aircraft to broadcast their positions and to receive positions of others in real time.
Now, under this legislation, the FAA would be required to grant permission for military flights without ADS-Bs only for sensitive government missions like presidential transports. And the Navy has confirmed an F-35 fighter jet crashed in California yesterday.
That incident happened last night around 6:30 near Naval Air Station Lemoore. The pilot was able to eject safely.
The plane was assigned to Strike Fighter Squadron VF-124. Military officials are investigating the cause of that crash.
And Boeing fighter jet workers in St. Louis could go on strike next week if they don't reach a new deal with that company.
The International Machinists and Aerospace Workers Union rejected Boeing's latest contract offer, which included a 20% pay bump over the next 4 years. During a call with investors, Boeing CEO said not to worry about a strike, though, saying the company will, quote, manage through this.
Boeing builds fighter jets and weapon systems used by the U.S. military. Earlier this year, Boeing was awarded a $20 billion contract to build the Air Force's next generation fighter jet, the F-47. Any work stoppage could delay production schedules and impact supply chains. If they don't come to an agreement, the strike will begin on Monday.
Oklahoma Senator James Lankford spoke to his constituents on Facebook last night. Now, some of the topics included the big, beautiful bill, federal education grants, and the Epstein files.
The senator also spoke on the current conditions in Gaza. Israeli offensive have stymied humanitarian aid from getting into the region, leading to widespread starvation, sickness, and death.
Conditions on the ground have led Senator Bernie Sanders to introduce legislation to ban the sale of weapons to Israel, something that Senator Lankford disagrees with.
I do support Israel. I want the hostages to be returned, but I am incredibly grieved at what is happening in Gaza and the pain that I continue to be able to see there among that people. There's 2 million people in Gaza. Not all of them are terrorists in Hamas. There's a fraction of them that are the Hamas terrorists, but those Hamas terrorists are reaping consequences on the people of Gaza. All of this would end tonight if Hamas would release its hostages and if Hamas would lay down their arms and say they're not going to attack Israel anymore.
Turning our attention to local military news, Oklahoma State University is working with Cameron and Fort Sill's Red Legs for STEM team to run a STEM aerospace camp at the Vista.
So this is pretty cool. So the 2-day event brought together high school students from across Lawton. Attendees got the chance to speak on a Zoom connection with Apollo 13 astronaut Fred Hayes. They also took part in hands-on activities like building a contraption to protect an egg for egg drops.
It's a wonderful opportunity. It's a great way to engage in what engineering really is and figure out if this is really what you want to do. And with the drones, it also adds into the aspect of aerospace. So far, my favorite part has been the drones, just because I don't really fly drones that much, but I'm very much interested in pursuing an aerospace. And this is allowing me to get a little bit into an insight of what to expect.
STEM coordinator Sherry Bunton says that they aim to let kids know there are no limits to what they can do in the aerospace industry. Organizers say they plan to hold another aerospace camp next year. Well, it's been a busy summer at Altus Air Force Base and really Fort Sill, too. Yeah. They always call the summertime change of command season. And on the installation at Altus, they bid farewell to several commanders while welcoming their successors.
These base-wide events honor the passing of command from one commander to the next and are generally held every 2 years for each unit. This year, Altus Air Force Base welcomed new commanders to the 97th Air Mobility Wing, 97th Operations Group, 97th Operations Medical Readiness Squadron, 97th Force Support Squadron, 97th Communications Squadron, 56th Air Refueling Squadron, 58th Airlift Squadron, and the 97th Comptroller Squadron.
Man, that's a lot of changes of command. I mean, right? Fort Sill, look, I was saying, Fort Sill, same way, right? Summertime is always change of command season, typically on a 2-year cycle. So commands at the, in the Air Force, at the squadron, at the Army, the battalion level, and brigade versus wing level, they're typically a 2-year time. So they're just on a 2-year cycle. Lots of folks.
Always exciting times over there. Well, FSX Inc., a Lawton-based company that helps with operations and training solutions for the military, has been awarded a nearly $14 million bonus to an existing contract. That's right. The additional funds will go towards SEER instruction and support services. The modification brings the total value of that contract to $25 million. The work will be performed at Fort Rucker, Alabama, and is estimated to be completed in 2029. And taking a look at a few things involving military and their families around town. Want to take your kids to the library for story time, but you can't because you're too busy? Nye Library on Fort Sill has you covered. They're offering craft to go and story time to go kits, so you can bring the library experience home. No registration is required. Just swing by Nye Library and grab yours today. There is a limit of 2 kits per account for story time to go. For more information, you can call the library at the number on your screen. Electra Lodge is offering you a chance to make your next event special. The lodge seats up to 172 guests. It's perfect for parties, meetings, and special occasions. The space also includes a full prep area if you need to cook. The lodge costs $150 per day to rent. You can call the number on your screen to reserve the lodge. And Kyle, do you like cardboard boat races? See, I've never done this. I have seen it happen, though, back when in my earlier days here. So there are quite a few things, and they do it on Fort Sill, but this one's for Shepherd Air Force Base. And if you like cardboard boat races, the event will be held on August 16th at 9 a.m. at the Big White Umbrella. 5-person teams will use their engineering prowess to construct a seaworthy vessel. Supplies will be provided, and you must be a part of a base organization or squadron to compete. For more information, you can call the Commons at the number on your screen. Well, still to come, United States forces in Korea recently announced that it will adjust to what it calls a normalized tour model starting on October 1st. Coming up, hear what changes are coming to troops stationed on the peninsula.
This just in, the town of Velma is being evacuated.
Stay connected to the team you trust your way. Get breaking news and investigations here on the 7 News app.
Mark, what are you seeing?
Right now I'm here at 2nd and F.
Instant forecast with real-time alerts here on the First Alert 7 weather app. And stream live on your TV here or watch anytime on your schedule. Download all 3 for free. Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are.
A man charged in a deadly hit and run from 2023 has been sentenced.
7 News is working for you.
The Lawton Firefighters Association is raising awareness about critical staffing issues.
Your first alert for what's next.
We're just going to see dry conditions, mostly sunny skies.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
The city of Lawton's Ward 2 councilman has announced his resignation.
Checking facts and finding solutions. 7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6.
And you can see that area of rotation right in here. It's the easiest way to stay one step ahead of summer storms.
When the workday is wrapping up and you're ready to start your evening, get your news first. The first look at what's happening in your community.
First responders in Jefferson County worked to extinguish a semi-truck fire.
Your first look at weather approaching Texoma.
We're just going to see dry conditions, mostly sunny skies.
And your first glimpse of impacts for your day ahead.
A new scholarship program is coming to Oklahoma.
You can even watch on the 7 News app from wherever you are.
Right now I'm here at 2nd and F.
Don't wait to see the news that affects you. Know first with 7 News at 4 p.m. every evening.
A man charged in a deadly hit and run from 2023 has been sentenced.
7 News is working for you.
There's another shakeup in the Lawton City Council as another member announces their resignation.
Your first alert for what's next.
That triple-digit heat that you saw in those 2 towns, that'll be throughout most of our areas we head into next week.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
The Lawton Firefighters Association is raising awareness about critical staffing issues.
7 News, working for you every night at 10. Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are. Download all 3 for free.
History of producing 2 to 3 tornadoes. This is why we first alert.
Here's your first alert forecast with meteorologist Michael Amankwa.
Well, there are only 2 counties that will have a heat advisory issued for today. That's because the front wouldn't come through before we get those heat indices between 102 and 108. And that will be for counties out to that will be for counties Young and Jack County. You're still under a heat advisory today. And it will be until from about 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. today because that front will not get there until maybe later this afternoon. Currently, our temperatures are in the upper 70s and lower 80s right now. Lawton at 81 degrees. Same for Wichita Falls, 79 in Duncan, 85 in Waurika, and 80 out in Altus. Taking a look at our dew points right now, they're not too bad right now. They're in the lower 70s as you head towards the east, but there's pockets of dry air, especially towards our south, where we're seeing dew points down into the 50s. So the air is definitely drier towards our south, and we'll continue to monitor some of those areas where there's higher humidity, where we've seen some rain, and lower humidity where we haven't seen any right now. Winds are generally out of the north right now. As the wind part of the cold front has come in, but the temperature has yet to catch up. And our headlines for today, well, we will have that front move in today. We have some isolated to widely scattered showers and storms to come in, and we will continue to monitor our temperatures remaining below average heading into the weekend and into next week. High pressure continues to dominate towards our south, and as we head over the next few hours, there's that front, and we'll continue to track that as it moves towards and throughout most of Texoma. And I will have your future track and what your 7-day will look like coming up.
United States Forces Korea recently announced that it will adjust to what it calls a normalized tour model starting October 1st of this year.
That's right. The move is in response to a recent DoD directive to implement standardized tour lengths for the Republic of Korea. According to a press release, the shift is designed to improve force stability, enhance operational readiness, and support quality of life for service members and their families.
Under the new 321 tour normalization policy, accompanied tours will extend from 24 months to 36 months, and unaccompanied tours will extend from 12 months to 24 months. It's noted that 12-month unaccompanied tours will only be available as an exception when an accompanied tour is requested but cannot be supported due to operational or installation support or infrastructure constraints. So Dan, how is this different from what we had previously?
So this is a significant change for what's been done in Korea for a really long time. So it used to be 12-month unaccompanied tours, right? And then it was 24 months accompanied, meaning like with your family. Now extending this out, I mean, there's a broader push in the DoD right now to do less PCS moves or less frequently. For this, there's mixed reviews. I've seen some comments online about this right now. Some folks think, hey, you know, maybe this isn't a good idea. Other folks, though, are like, because you can, previous to this, you could actually voluntarily extend. Like if you were a single soldier over there for 12 months, a lot of them did get some incentives to extend for an additional 12 months. So we'll see how it flushes out.
Yeah, 3 years seems like quite the commitment, even if you have your family with you.
It is. But I don't know. I did a 9-month tour there on a operational rotation with my battalion, actually out of Fort Sill when I commanded 220th FA Battalion. We did 9 months there, and I enjoyed it. I mean, Korea's a beautiful country.
Well, looking at today in military history, a major milestone for NASA.
That's right. Ranger 7, an unmanned U.S. lunar probe, takes the first close-up images of the moon. It happened July 31st of 1964. The Ranger 7 beamed more than 4,300 images back to NASA receiving station in California.
So the pictures showed that the moon's surface was not excessively dusty or otherwise treacherous to a potential spacecraft landing. This, of course, encouraged NASA to begin planning to send astronauts to the moon, which they did 5 years later when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon in the first Apollo program lunar landing mission.
President Trump has signed a bill into law that helps veterans be able to afford housing. Coming up, we'll break down the new changes coming to vets.
Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are. Download all 3 for free.
Trump is trying to make it easier for veterans to keep their homes.
Yesterday, Trump signed a bill which would provide relief to veterans who have fallen behind on their mortgages. A White House official says the legislation will modernize the VA home loan program by creating a safety net for veterans in financial hardship. And the government of Guam honored U.S. Marine Corps Brigadier General and Delegate Vincent Ben T. Blas in a ceremony this week by renaming Guam Route 3 as Brigadier General Ben Blas Memorial Highway.
Brigadier General Blas is a Guam native and the first Chamorro Marine to achieve the rank of a general officer in the U.S. Armed Forces. After a storied 29-plus-year career in the Corps, Blas became only the second. How do you say this?
Chamorro.
Chamorro. Okay, so I did get it right.
Yeah.
Elected as a delegate to Congress. Guam also has a Marine Corps base camp named after Blas.
Guam Senator Chris Dinyas said, quote, "I think that the road leading to Camp Blas, whether it be going north or south on Route 3 to be named General Ben Blas Boulevard, is most appropriate." And it's some good news. So a former Army infantryman in Tennessee, this is actually a really cool story, is helping fellow veterans through music.
Scotty Hastings is an aspiring country music artist. He's reaching out to veterans nationwide as he embarks on a tour across the eastern half of the United States. Jason Dennis brings us his inspiring story.
Rolling down the window, too scared to get out.
Who is Scotty Hastings?
A father, someone who served his country and almost gave his life and loved every minute of it, and someone who just wants to help.
Scotty Hastings is also now a Nashville country music star, inspiring veterans and everyday people with his story and songs.
April 21st, 2011, we were on patrol and there was a guy that was hiding behind a wall. So I walked up to him and I was about 10 to 15 feet from him, and he pulled a rifle from behind his back and just started spraying. My injuries are very extensive, but the main one that really affects me the most is my right hand. I feel like the Scotty that you're talking to and that's sitting here right now was born that day.
And Scotty may have discovered his purpose in life while recovering at Walter Reed after learning he lost his best friend.
Adam Hamilton, and he was just one of those guys that was everyone's best friend. You know, you meet someone that you just instantly connect with, and he was just that guy. And I want to do everything I can to make him proud and kind of try to remind people that, you know, of his life and who he was. How do you choose who comes back home?
The Purple Heart recipient channeled his PTSD and raw pain into poetry.
When it gets quiet is when the demon's not the loudest, and COVID was very quiet, and I needed something. So I had a guitar in the corner of my room, and one day I was like, you know, I'm gonna learn how to play this thing.
Scotty had never written a song or played guitar. He credits YouTube, tenacity, and his need to express his survivor's guilt.
Tell me, God, did I win or lose? And now I get messages every day about, man, this song gave me a voice. It gave me the ability to talk to my family, and when I couldn't, and I didn't know what to say. This gave me words.
Scotty now partners with PenFed Foundation, an organization that helps support military veterans. He's highlighting their programs while on a 20-city tour in 2025.
There's a lot of veterans out there who don't understand what's out there and what's available. Right. PenFed has this entrepreneur program, and there's a lot of veterans who are incredible entrepreneurs.
So far, it's launched more than 100 military founders, fitting with Scotty's mission to leave no one behind on the battlefield of life. For Military Matters, I'm Jason Dennis.
That's a really impactful story of resilience. I really like seeing stuff like that for our veterans. The family of a World War II veteran is getting some closure after the remains of their loved one were finally returned home.
Army Sergeant Truman Causey shipped out for the Philippines weeks before the birth of his youngest child, Sharon. He never came back home, though. His daughter says the feeling of having her father's remains back home is indescribable.
My mother had always told me that the Red Cross had gotten in touch with him and told him that I had been born and that I was a girl. I don't know if he knew my name.
Here's your first alert forecast with meteorologist Michael Amanqua.
It is currently 81 degrees at Fort Sill, and over the next few hours we'll be generally be in the mid-70s before getting up into the lower 80s as that cold front does move through. Future track right now we're seeing maybe some scattered showers and storms possible today, especially as that front continues to move through. Otherwise partly cloudy for most of us, and as you go into your Friday morning we may have another redevelopment of showers and storms, especially across the south where that front will still be kind of stalled out before that kind of moves away, and we will have partly to mostly sunny skies across for much of your Friday. Looking into the future with your long-term models, we will continue to bring rain chances back for your Sunday. Going into your Monday morning, we have another chance to scatter showers and storms. So we do keep rain chances in the forecast. And notice today, look where the heat indices are pretty high. Just in the southeastern counties as that cold front moves through. But as you go into your Friday, look at that. I feel like temperatures will be feeling much more comfortable as we go into most of your Friday, and our afternoon highs generally will be in the upper 80s and lower 90s, lower 100s as we go towards the south, and tonight we'll be falling down into the upper 60s and lower 70s across the area. 70 for Lawton, 73 for Wichita Falls, 68 in Elk City, and tomorrow's highs will be generally in the upper 80s and lower 90s. 92 for Lawton and Wichita Falls, 94 in Graham, and 85 out in Elk City. Your 7-day forecast, we keep those low 90s going to your Thursday and Friday, and then we'll keep those small rain chances. We do bump them up by your Sunday around 40%, and mid-90s continuing into next week.
Well, thanks for watching Good Morning Fort Sill. You can check the 7 News app today for updates and breaking news.